This is Dustin. Hey, thanks for clicking. Thanks for scrolling through on Facebook and letting it run and walking away from your computer and the video actually runs. So I get a view because you didn't look at it, let it go. However, it's good with me. I'm glad you're with me. Again, my name is Dustin, DustinBoles.com. Not really a ministry, just a dude teaching the Bible, trying to encourage you. A couple times a week, I'm going to put out these videos, encourage you, hopefully challenge you, sometimes make you mad. Hope to make you laugh sometimes, mainly to talk about Jesus. And I'm talking about in a way that is gritty, a way that, man, that not only will it reach you, but it can reach your friends that don't even believe in Him. I care mostly about these videos and about the blog that I've been putting out because I want people to know Him. You already know me. You know the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's no secret about that. But I want you to know Jesus. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put these out on Facebook. They're also going to be on the website, DustinBoles.com. You can look at them anytime, blogs, all that kind of stuff like that. We'll never charge for anything. Man, just want to introduce you to Jesus, and I think you'll like what you see when you get there. So today I want to talk about hypocrisy. The word hypocrisy, Jesus used it a lot, and the tone of his voice was never good when he used it. And that's putting it mildly. The most angry, the most outrage, the most UFC, MMA that Jesus ever got was towards hypocrisy. The word that we use for hypocrite, we get it from Greek and Roman theater. In their theaters, man, there'd be 25,000 seats. The people that were in the nosebleed, it was hard to see. They did incredible acoustics so the people in the back row could hear everything. Amazing. You can go to the city of Ephesus today in Turkey and sit there. Somebody could be standing on the stage. You could be in the back row and you can hear them talk. Amazing. But they couldn't do that with the visual side. They had no way of amplifying the visual. So what they would do is there were certain people on stage that would wear masks, huge masks to convey anger, sadness, joy, whatever that would be. But they'd be these huge masks so they could communicate what they were trying to say. Those people, their job title was called a hypocrite. Imagine filling out an application for that. I'd probably get hired, so would you. There was a job, it was called hypocrite, but when it came to the spiritual life, Jesus was like, no, you're fired from the job. No hypocrisy allowed, okay? Hypocrites are allowed, but the hypocrisy that we all bring in, Jesus is gonna go after it, and that's what he does. So, speaking of masks, you guys all know I have a 6-year-old son named Rhett, and I also, along with him, have a collection of masks. I don't know what this one is. I don't know this guy. This is Nacho Libre, I think, when Rhett's feeling like wrestling and hitting daddy in the places that hurt, especially bad. This is the newest acquisition. Some friends gave it to him for his birthday. This is Darth Vader, so Rhett gets to be the Dark Lord, perfect for a Christian household. And this is Catboy from PJ Masks. If you have kids, you're going to know all about PJ Masks. He wears these things, man. I'll be laying in bed, I'll be sitting in my chair, watching football, and all of a sudden Darth Vader comes up, man. There's heavy breathing, all this kind of stuff like that. Or Nacho Libre comes up, and when Rhett comes out with a mask, about half the time it's funny, about half the time it's scary, but here's the thing, he might scare me and he might make me laugh, but he never fools me. I never believe that Darth Vader is actually in my house, or Nacho Libre or Catboy is actually in my house, and it's simply because I know my son. I can see the rest of him around the mask. The mask doesn't fool me because the rest of him is so glaringly there. So I'm never fooled by it. I can tell you, just stop right there. God, our masks might be entertaining. They might be a little scary. God is never fooled by them, that's for sure. I have found myself lately, I have to confess, I've found myself lately getting a little bit annoyed by the masks. Because it's just constant. And I'm like, dude, Rhett, stop, bro, stop. And I thought about that. Why am I so annoyed by this? And you know what it is? I think what it comes down to is I love Rhett's real face so much that anything that keeps me from seeing it is a bother to me. I love that little face. I love it. You know what I'm talking about, parents. I love that face so much that anything that just gets in the way of it all the time becomes a nuisance to me. And these masks might get thrown away at some point. They may end up disappearing in the trash. Let me just say this. God is the same way. He doesn't hate hypocrisy just for the sake of hating hypocrisy. He hates it because he likes the real you so much that anything that covers that up becomes an annoyance to him. And after a while, let me just tell you from personal experience, God will do whatever it takes to get rid of that mask. It's not to embarrass you. It's not because he hates you. It's because he loves the real you. Jesus died on the cross for the real you, to uncover the real you. Oh yeah, I know what you got. You got the scars. You got a 5 o'clock shadow. You got a big fat apple pie face like I have that probably fills the whole screen. Doesn't matter. Jesus died so God could see you face to face. Hypocrisy blocks God from seeing what he really wants to see. And that's the real you in a real relationship with Jesus. Now in Matthew 23 is where Jesus talks about hypocrisy the most. 7 times, not 5, let me add the 2. 7 times in that passage, Jesus says, "Woe to you, Pharisees, you hypocrites." And he calls them out. He's like, he doesn't just say, "Woe to you, hypocrites," because all the people standing around might think that he's talking about them, and the Pharisees might say, "Oh no, the hypocrites, that's the bad people out there that struggle with sin." Jesus all 7 times said, "Woe to you, Pharisees, you hypocrites, you mask wearers. You're playing a game with me, and it's not that I hate you, it's that that's not the real you." And I want to see the real you, and I want everybody else to see the real you. The word woe in there, he says, "Woe to you." Now for us, woe is like pulling back on the reins of a horse. That's W-H-O-A. In this passage, it's W-O-E, woe, meaning a sense of dread, a sense of God's impending judgment. And I find that interesting that a lot of people stay away from church because they hate hypocrites and all these things like that. You know, God hates it too. God doesn't hate the people, he hates the action. He hates hypocrisy just like you. If you're an unbeliever and you've stayed away from church because of hypocrisy, let me just call you out, man. You're a hypocrite too. So am I, so is everybody else. It's hypocrisy to stay away from church because of hypocrites, because you go to the bar with hypocrites, you go to school with them, you go to work with them. You don't quit any of those things because of hypocrisy. So you bring your masks, I'll bring mine, we'll lay them at the foot of the cross, man. And maybe God can get to a point where it's the real me, and it's the real you, and it's the real him. That's what life's all about, man. Woe to you, Dustin, for putting on a mask. Woe to you for putting on a mask. It's interesting, he never said woe to people that struggled with sin, people that were just out there trying, man, and they just couldn't get it right. He never said woe to them. He said grace to you, come unto me, all that. But when people were trying to pretend they were better than they were, man, he called them out, and he called them out hard. God is never fooled by our masks because he can see the rest of us so much, and he knows us so well. And the masks, I think, become annoying to him after a while because he loves the real face so much. He loves the real Dustin, believe it or not. He loves the real you so much. Listen, Jesus died on the cross to forgive your sins, to wipe them away so that they're not an issue between you and God anymore. He rose again on the 3rd day to prove it. But let me tell you this. Let me just say this. He did not die just to change your behavior. He died so that you could take the mask off, even before the behavior changes. He wants the real you, even while you're still struggling. That's the grace of God. So Matthew 23, I dare you to read it. I dare you to read the whole passage, verse 1 all the way to the end. Don't just take a little portion out and start thinking about who it applies to. It applies to you and it applies to me. So let's take off these masks. They're not funny anymore. They're not scary. They're just annoying. They're annoying. And mine are too. Hey, God bless you. Please check out, if you get a chance, check out DustinBoles.com. I'm going to be adding all kinds of resources there. There's written blogs. There's going to be video blogs, all kinds of things over time. I'm going to be doing some teaching verse by verse through books of the Bible when I have time. I do this just in my spare time. I work a job just like you do and have to struggle and do all the same things you do. So when I have more time, I'm going to invest some time into some verse by verse teaching and go a little more in depth. In the meantime, I encourage you, plug in at a church somewhere, wherever you are. Find a church that teaches the Bible, that'll tell you the truth, but also will wrap that truth in a ton of grace. Hey, God bless you. See you next time. Man, keep looking to him. Keep looking for the real Jesus, and I'll be right alongside you. God bless you.